That's it for today. So look, if you like today's video, give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing. Everything we talk about is time sensitive. Now, if you want to stick around, we'll do a little Q&A. I'll answer all your questions to the best of my abilities, and we'll go from there. But if you got to take off, take off. I appreciate you guys stopping by on a Friday. Very nice. And here we go. And here we go. I see the usual suspects are here. Tesla, French Toaster. Dave Yu is here. Dave Yu's. John Velasquez. Where is FinTech TV? Ron, Dez is here. Everybody's here. It's always good to see friends and family. All right, everybody. Sugar says, Cardano, all 209 academic papers peer-reviewed by Charles Hoskinson himself, making them pointless. Look, I'm not here to debate Cardano. I think it'll do quite well in this bull run that we have coming up. And you never know. It's a funny thing because, you know, it's like Uniswap, right? Uniswap is a pretty good decentralized exchange. It works relatively well. It's been up for quite some time. It's battle tested. And the token, you know, has been doing quite well. But who'd have thunk that Gary Gensler would have came out of nowhere and said, hey, we're going to sue the pants off you. So what does that do for the token? Well, it's probably going to drop it in the short term. In the long term, who knows? So like for these things like with Cardano, and people, you know, they talk about it, or people talk that Solana is going to go to $500. And then what happens? Oopsie. Well, we can't handle all these transactions, which is bound to happen, right? I mean, they had a boatload of transactions and they have to fix those things. And then people are like, hey, why the heck is it 166 when it's supposed to go up to 250 and 500? Things happen. It's like businesses. Nothing lasts forever. It's just how it goes. So as far as Cardano, hey, tomorrow they could sign a partnership with who knows. And then off of the races they go. That's why I think it's a fun time to be in crypto and Bitcoin. It's exciting. That's why I like to actually diversify, because you never know. Because like it's always fun to wake up and go, well, that one's down, that one's down, that one's down. Well, this one's up by like 150%. What the hell happened? Crypto. Where is Joey? Dave says, Joey, that totally sucks for you. I'm sorry that you're a bag holder. Oh, well. Let's see. What kind of upside does Sheep have? Sheep has major upside. It's a meme coin as well, but it's one of the first ones, not like Dogecoin, which is the first one, but probably does pretty well. Like I said, like everything you guys are going to ask me, if you ask me about your project, I'm going to say the same thing. It's probably going to do pretty well in the bull run. The question is, when do you get out? That's the more important question. Hey, minute. Yeah, Danny's right. That's exactly it. That's my, that would be my prediction for all cryptos. For most cryptos. Let's see. Doug, glad to hear you sounding better. Now give me a prediction. Doug, I'm going to tell you right now. All your bags will be between a fraction of a penny to $10 million. Somewhere in between. Digital. See, I told you. I'm glad I did both of those articles, one on Cardano and one on Solana. Digital Asset says, Charles screams like a lobster. Silently. Sold devs eat glass and spit out sagas. I tell you, something to be said. You know what would be the ultimate? If Solana and Cardano just merged together, kind of like what we just saw with Ocean Protocol, Ajax, and Fetch AI. Those three AI plays are going to merge together for ASI token. Wouldn't that be something? If they just said, you know what, we're stronger together. Let's do it. Let's take how fast you guys are and you know how you're trying to push the envelope, and we'll come over here to Cardano where we're slow and we're very, very safe. And they team up and they make some like Soldano or something. That'd blow everybody's mind. Singularity. Yeah. Cage says, could you see Sol going under 150 again? Yeah, of course. The more outages they have, the more problems that the price action will be. And you're going to hear more people talk about it, especially the Solana haters. They're going to come out and say, told you. And they're going to say, look at all these failed transactions and look at this and look at this. And this TPS is BS and it's because of this and this and this. And then people say, maybe it is trash. And they start to sell. So yeah, I can see that. But in the background, you know, I think Solana will shore it up. People will still complain that they are not decentralized enough, which look, they're more decentralized than Wells Fargo. We'll just say that. Can we agree on that? That sounds reasonable. And then from there, I don't really care. I'm not here to change the world. I'm just here to change my pocketbook. Yes, Rob, can you ask us about home remodeling projects? Sure, go right ahead. Home remodeling, as long as something that will increase the value of the house, go right for it, I say. You has a good point. The tulip bubble was 3 months, not 15 plus years. Exactly correct. Exactly correct, you. Which there is a debate going on between some pro-Bitcoin individuals and some anti-Bitcoin individuals. And I, for one, will not watch it because I think it's senseless and pointless because it's like debating a flat earther. You can tell, hey, you know, the world's round because there's this evidence here. And they'll just keep saying, no, it's flat. Because I look out and I just see it's flat. And I don't care what you say. That's essentially what you're going to hear in this debate. And you're going to hear tulip bubble, and you're going to hear it has no value, and you're going to hear the same thing over and over again. I don't know why we keep having these debates with people who just will not get it. The same people who said stay away from Bitcoin in 2011, 10, 12 are the same people who are saying it today, as all the people that they told, they essentially screwed out of massive amounts of profits because they said, you know, you got to get into gold. You know, you got to get into silver. You know, you got to get into oil, blah, blah, blah. And they would have done fine, I suppose. Actually, not that well. But I think that's the real problem. It's amazing, right? You can't give financial advice to somebody because you don't want them to lose any money. But if you really think about it, your unrealized gains, you should be just as pissed off about that as well. That's something to think about. Jimmy French. Have you been using Jupe Launchpad for the Zeus airdrop? I have used Jupiter many a time. I should really... Let me ask you a question, because I just got the notification for the Wormhole and Tensor airdrop from my Phantom wallet. So maybe I just need to go back to Jupe today and see what's up. Yeah, I've used Jupe for a couple different cross transactions. Works very well. I like Jupiter. I like Orca. And yeah, let's see. Thanks for the reminder. Dave says, the only crypto I ever get asked about from complete noobs is XRP. XRP could do probably really well. Brad Garlinghouse put out a fantastic video today, which depicted why you shouldn't fall for scams. It was very good. I mean, it's like 3 years late, but, you know, good for him to get it going. Just a gal says, one interview with Ken from Meld. I should reach out to Ken. Again, I haven't seen Ken for quite some time. We're still a node operator for Meld. We're saturated, so I should bring them out. Actually, if you guys have taken a look at Coin Bureau Club, they are running a poll. I think it's still going on, where they took a look at. They say, which one should we do a deep dive on? And Meld was number 3, I think, out of 4. So yeah, go from there. Ken Olding. Arvin says XRP is a scam. This is, I think, the one word that we use the most in crypto besides HODL, which I don't even hear many people say that anymore, is scam. Hey, Plato. Raymond Bao says, in 5 years, we'll be sorry. Well, Ray, you have to understand. It's not like, it's like with real estate, you know, or it's like with any asset. It doesn't really matter. You don't just keep buying and buying and buying and never selling, right? We just got done selling 2 of our condos here. At some point, there's a point where it makes sense for you to sell, and everybody's reason is different. of why they're selling. That's why no one can give financial advice, because they don't know your personal history and where you're going and what your goals are. So like, just because I'm going to sell Bitcoin or bunch of altcoins that I should have sold a long time ago, doesn't mean that I won't get back into buying assets. And then people would say, well, doesn't make any sense? Because if you sell Bitcoin here, then why would you buy it again? Well, the whole thing is that I still believe in the 4-year cycles, and I still think that nothing goes up forever. And at some point, we're going to get over leveraged. We're going to get overbought. RSI is going to go crazy. People are going to go a little bit too nuts. I don't know what the next collapse is and what causes it, but I can tell you that it's coming at some point. I don't think we've hit the peak yet, but when that happens, then you get back in and go from there. Like my friend Simon Dixon says, my goal is every month to have more Bitcoin than I had the previous month. So again, buying assets. Once you start buying assets and getting to the asset and being an investor, you never get out. It's like that scene in what was the movie? Capino. Let's see. Airstyle players, I've come to the conclusion that no one really knows what the WTF is going on with crypto except for big player manipulation. Exactly. So no one really knows. I mean, people are going to say, do this and do this and do this. I don't know, but I can tell you that there's certain indicators that we'll look at and say, you know what, this is not a bad time to get out or take some profits. And that's it. Look, if I would have just followed the Pi cycle top in 2017 and 2021, I've been doing okay. FinTech says it's going nuts now. I've seen the amount of rugs on Solana. It's crazy. Retail still have to get in. It's not like the Solana developers did that. Just the people building on Solana. You want it decentralized. You want it open source. There you go. Ooh, Jimmy French says order the Dan Tangent card. Excited to get him. Yeah, you're going to love it. Looks like this. Here's your cold storage device. Looks like that. Yeah. Link in the description. You don't have to, but you don't get a discount. FinTech says hold and chill. It's a very good way to do things. Coffee is for closers. Yeah. Yeah, the voice. Even Guy said, Rob, you should get sick more. But it hurts. So, yeah. This was the first time when we did the NFA Live where I was healthy, or Ben was healthy and I was sick. It's crazy. Jimmy French says, Pi cycle wasn't there in 2021. It was created post-21. No, I don't think so. I think it was 2019. Let's take a look. When was Pi cycle top? Actually, I know it was before 2021 because Ben did a video on it on the day that it happened in April 2021. It was either March or April. Hold on. Yeah, there we go. So if you go in and look into Bitcoin, you can see who it was. Pi cycle top, created by Philip Swift, and it was in April 2019. It wasn't 2021. So yeah, I said it was retrospective and did a pretty good job, but still did a good job in 2021. Let's see. See you later, Susie. Yes. All right. If you bought Link, how would you scale out? First of all, that video that's in the description, which let me show you. One at the top here. Why and when I'm selling 80% of my crypto. Watch that and you'll see like the indicators. And I'm looking to essentially offload when things go a little bit too crazy. And I'm debating on whether I just start to layer out like 10, 20% of the time, or just go 50% and then another 15%, another 15%. I'm debating which one to do. It seems like that's the way. And just remember, there's a reason why I said I'm selling 80% of my crypto. Because for me, I don't feel like it's a good idea to sell 100% of all crypto, because I don't think I'm going to time this perfectly. So if things, you know, different MVRBZ score, Puel multiple, RSI, fear and greed index, pi cycle top, all things we talk about, if it starts to hit, and then all of a sudden, you know, there's some kind of news, there's some kind of influx of liquidity, quantitative easing starts again, like in mass, and I just kind of missed it. Like, well, still got 20% to play around with. And I think if you've been here since, like I've been here since 2017, and I sold a big chunk in 2021, 2022. It wasn't big enough, Rob. And I've been dollar cost averaging again since 2022 and 2023, now 2024. I mean, I'm up pretty well, because I figured out, I'm not that smart, that, you know, all the money's made in the bear market. So even if it was today, I wouldn't be like, well, that's not so bad. And there's a reason why like when you tune in, I'm pretty much the same person. It doesn't matter if it goes way high or way low. I'm always pretty much this guy, because I've, you know, taken profits a little bit along the way, and I don't really have everything in. And I didn't sell my kidneys to buy Bitcoin. So yeah. Yeah. Nice. Guild said I did that half and half thing. If you don't know what Gid's talking about, he's talking about the half and half method, which I talked about in the video down here, which again's in the description, right? Stress-free profit taking. He says, did the half and half thing on Punky Solana yesterday, 100% in 2 days. Damn, that's pretty good. Now playing with the house money until the top. Good stuff. Thanks. You're welcome. I'm glad you have no stress now, because he took half out and you're just playing with house money. And if it, you know, 2x, 4x, 10x from here, you're like, that's good, I guess. I'll just take some more profits. That's all. And again, that's why I'm excited about this new one, the CATAMOTO. You know, I think Binance Chain, it's time, because Avalanche has gotten into the meme coin. Ethereum's been for, you know, Ethereum was the first. Avalanche got into it. Solana really kicked it off, and now Binance Chain is coming in with these meme coins, which are just gambling. And we'll see how it does. It's on Tencent, and I can just tell you, between us, they know a lot of people to amplify the message, I'll just say. Oh, I didn't. Just the gal said, you listened to the World Mobile Token, you know, called. I did not. I missed it. What's the big news? I heard a rumor that World Mobile Token and Mickey Watkins are some kind of Starlink something or other partnership. I don't know. That could be just a rumor. Don't go and buy World Mobile Token. But the price has been doing quite well. That's right, Dave. Kidney and Bitcoin trading pair. Yeah, Pedro says it right. When Bitcoin is stagnant, people get bored. People get bearish. I think everybody's like me. We do not like sideways chop because it's boring. We're not traditional. Most of us aren't traditional investors. Most of us look at these and go, hey, either you go straight down or you go straight up. Anything in between is boring. Yeah. Tab Nebraska. Rob, that tangent looks interesting. Looks like a great cold wallet. Yeah, I did a deep dive. There's a link in the description about Tangem and the deep dive video. That's the one that I use the most. I've got a Tangem. I've got a Ledger. And I have an EliPal, but little stuff on that. I don't really like that. I don't really like the EliPal. It's cumbersome. It's a pain. And it's not that bad. But I just don't like using it. Like this one, you know, like I have this and I just do this and that's it. Jat says, how's your back? Not bad. I mean, after you rupture a disc, it takes like 6 to 9 months to really go through things. And now on the 6-month mark, went and played volleyball on the beach yesterday. Hurt like a mother, but here we are. I think it's time to drink tonight. Yeah. Like I had to think about it. Let's see. John says, Rob, Powell, Fink, and Diamond were Japan's prime minister. Were at a White House dinner. Did you get the invite? I did not. Man, Jamie Dimon. There's a guy. Hey, Nas is here. Everybody say hey, Nas. Psychman says, guys, I just joined. Good news or bad news? Whoops. Hey, sorry. It's pretty much good. I mean, there was some indicators that look like Pi cycle top is closing in. Maybe we could look to take some profits and sell a little bit. I think that might happen, but it's anybody's guess. We talked about Cardano and their big partnership with Huawei. We took a look at Solana. Looks like they're going to fix the congestion by taking the cartridge out and blowing on it. I'm just kidding. They're going to use their developers to upgrade, and that's fine. And we also talked about CHAINLINK and the bridging aspect of it and the super safe. That's what they say. So that was it. And we talked about CATAMOTO, which is a meme coin, which I just gave you access to a whitelist that you can, there's a link in the description for the whitelist for CATAMOTO. Watch the deep dive video first. It's a meme coin and you're gambling. That was pretty much it. Adam Evans. What is the catalyst that reverses the sold downtrend? Fixed congestion, needs something bigger? Fired answer. Fired answer. Fired answer comes in and everything gets fixed. And that's not like it's that awful right now. Just things don't work. Look, the congestion was bad. But have you ever used a bank? Try to do a wire transfer? Yeah, that's fun. Especially if you're doing over the weekend. Now that's the real congestion. But yeah, it's a bummer. Fired answer comes in, narrative moves up, new partnerships, whatever. And then maybe a project that I'm dealing with or have started up launches on Solana. Maybe that happens. And it's this great Web 2 game that we bring to Web 3 and using Solana Foundation, Saga Phone. Maybe that happens. Maybe that reverses it. We'll go from there. That's a good question. M says, how's the MVRVZ looking? Let's take a look. So what he's talking about here is one of the indicators I take a look at. I have them under sell indicators because I'm lazy. I don't want to look everything up, make things accessible. This is the market value versus the realized value. And the market value is price of Bitcoin by the number of coin circulation. Realized value takes the price of each Bitcoin when it's last moved. And you can just see here that, again, like I always say, I'm a simpleton. I like colors. And when we take a look and extrapolate that data, we can see that once we get to this range right here, like June 14th, 2022, is probably good. I'd tell you, pretty great time to actually buy Bitcoin. All right, this whole time, June to when was this? January 2023. Great time to buy Bitcoin. If you just would have loaded up right here and skipped all this, you'd have been in the money, baby. And then, of course, once it gets overheated, then it goes in this red zone. But I want you to notice on the MVRVZ score, it didn't hit it right. It hit it pretty well in 2017. It hit a great job in, 2013, the double top. Barely peaked on February 21st, 2021. Hold on, no, that's not right. February 28th, 2021, which I want to say Bitcoin wasn't near 67,000. I think we didn't hit that until November. We hit 60,000 somewhere around in April. So it was a couple months off, but it was one of the good points. And like when I'm taking a look at these indicators, like I did in that video, I'm looking at NUPL, Pi cycle top, time and risk band. That's a big one. Bitcoin cycle master and miner outflow. That's another one that we talked about. So right now it's looking pretty good. That's why you can't just rely on one indicator. I mean, you could, but why do that? Tesla's taking off. Thanks, Tesla, for coming. Christy says, what do we need to qualify for the CATAMOTO whitelist? Nothing. You just got to put in your wallet address, whichever wallet that you want to. You know what? Let me see. Does it say? They got to put on here. Let me show you what I'm looking at. So everybody, this is the Binance. This is your BNB wallet address. They need to put that on there. That's going to confuse some people. I'll have them do that today. But that's all you need. You need to, well, that's my email. You got to put your Telegram. your Twitter, and your wallet. Now, they also got to do someone. They also got to. I didn't put it on here. Your Telegram, you need to go follow CATAMOTO on Telegram. You need to go follow CATAMOTO on Twitter and put your wallet. Let me have them change that to put the things right there. So that's what you need. Great question. I didn't know they. That's on me. I should have checked that first. M says, Rob, did you have a change of mind about this cycle being the bull market we didn't have the last cycle? No, I still think it's going to be big. I just say that looks like we're getting close. But remember, just like we talked about the price cycle top, I mean, it can consolidate for quite some time as the price starts to go up. It doesn't mean that just tomorrow the price cycle top will cross over. I still think we've got a long ways to run, but when all those indicators start to hit, and I say, well, boy, I wish I was right on my thesis that this will be the big bull run, maybe I'm wrong. I made a plan before. I'll stick to the plan, and that's it. I wish I would have stuck to the plan last time in 2021, but everybody was there was no excuse. You just get into when you're in a bear market, you feel like it'll never get better. When you're on sideways chop, you feel the same way. And when you're in a bull run, especially a manic bull run that goes up by multiples, you feel like it'll never go down. So it's the same thing replaying again and again. Just same thing going over. It's like Groundhog's Day. Okay. Everybody, I think I answered all the questions. I got to go over to Tencent and make them change that list. So it gives the information, like you got to follow them on on Twitter, on Telegram, and put a BNB wallet address so everybody knows. But that's it. I'll put this also information in the deep dive video that we did on CATAMOTO, which again is over on Dan Degen. Check out that video. Everything's live right now for the buying, but for the whitelist, that'll get you into the 4th round. So whatever's left over, you're going to be able to pick up on the cheap. And that's it. So thanks everybody. I appreciate you, and I will see you guys on the next one. Have a great weekend. Adios.